Hello, my name is Jevon. I'm the founder of Pasadilla Productions. I also manage the sound engineering and music production at the studio as well. And what we are doing now is we're doing a new segment called Steps to a Better Mix, which enables people who don't own a Flash studio to have the tools to perfect their sound, whether if they're doing dubstep, whether if they're doing R&B or pop, or if they're doing heavy metal or rock or hard rock. What we want to do is we want to make sure that your music is perfected to your liking, but with the necessary tools out there. And a lot of people do not know that these tools exist. And some people usually just like to go on a notion and kind of work on a tangent, and some people kind of have problems getting that perfect mix. So what we want to do is we want to help people who are on a budget to get their stuff out there and to have the tools for them to do it. And one of these tools is my favorite program called Toontrack EZDrummer, and also Toontrack Superior Drummer, which is two of the fabled tools in the Toontrack family. Basically, it started off with EZDrummer, and then it kind of branched out into Superior Drummer. And these tools have shaped the music industry for what it is. A lot of musicians do use these tools, and these two tool VSTs are a very, very reliable drum kit VST if you're ever looking for one on the market. There has been few other ones. There was one that was made with Cakewalk Sonar. There was also one that was made by Steinberg Cubase, which is called Groove Agent, and also the one made by Native Instruments. And there's also probably one or two other ones out there, but you've also got Fruity Loops as well, which is mainly more in tune for the R&B and rap and hip hop and pop market. Same with Reason, which is more in tune for dubstep and all of that. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be running it in different environments. We're going to be running it in Cockos Reaper first. We're going to be running it in Persona Studio 1. We're also going to be running it in its own companied app called Toontrack Solo. We're going to also be running it in Steinberg Cubase and Nuendo, Cubase 5, which we will be running, as well as Nuendo 4. We'll test this out in Adobe Audition to see if this actually does work. Now that I've got my speakers all set up, I will be able to do this. I will be able to do a playback on this as well, so the monitors will be able to pick everything up along the mic as well, so you'll be able to hear what's going on along in the background. Also, you'll hear probably some of the tracks from the solo project that I'm working with, called the J Solo Project, who use this software for their project. You'll be hearing a couple of tracks with just a couple of their drum tracks in a recording environment, not necessarily in a recording environment, but you'll be hearing a couple of tracks as well. But before we get into that, a lot of people also wonder, what is a VST? Now, to educate you on the subject a little bit, a VST is a virtual studio technology plugin. That's what it basically is. It's a plugin that is usable inside Pro Tools and Logic, and it can be frequently used to emulate hardware outboard gear such as compressors, expanders, maximizers, and EQs. But also they can emulate guitars, they can emulate bass, they can emulate piano and synth, even violins, and they can even emulate drums. And you even got vocal and pitch correction too, like auto-tune and Vocodex and stuff like that as well. There are many VSTs that are free on the market, but Toontrack you have to pay for. Now, if you wanting to find where Toontrack is, you go to www.toontrack.com. Now, Toontrack is a very, very comprehensive program. You need to run this inside a digital audio workstation such as Pro Tools or Cockos Reaper or Presonus or Cakewalk or one of those anyway. You need to run those. You need to run that program inside it. Without using that, without using a digital audio workstation, the program is going to be rendered useless because it's not an exact exe file, which is in Windows, or it's not necessarily a an executable file in Apple. You need to really run this inside a DAW, and we're going to show you how. Starting off with the program called Cockos Reaper. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of a light with Cockos Reaper. Cockos Reaper is actually a very, very lightweight program, which I found. I use this also for doing drum tracking, for helping doing the drum tracks for doing J Solo project, and it's a very, very lightweight program. You can get this program for free, but it's on a limited time basis. But for the price that you pay for it, it's very, very powerful. I think it's like $60-something US or something. And I'll Google it up for you, and I'll put the links up. I'll put all the links on the in the description below, so you know what you'll be looking at as well. Yeah, I'll be putting all the links below, like for all the digital audio workstations out there for you people too. Just so you know that there's programs like this out there as well in the market. And there's also a free one also called Audacity that has got VST support now. But I haven't tried it out too much. I mean, I used to use it for guitar tracking number of years ago, but it was very low quality back in the day. But anyway, that was then, this is now. Now, say for example you just installed Cockos Reaper, and you don't know where your VSTs are, and you need to assign them. So what you do is you click Options, Preferences, and it comes up with and you just click onto the VST in the menu, and then you just add. And usually with your VST, depending on what sort of platform you're running, if you're running a 32-bit operating system, you normally would have it. And if you're running a 32-bit operating system, you just go straight to program files and VST plugins. If you're running a 64-bit operating system and you're wanting to use both 32 and 64, you gotta, since that we're on the 32-bit version, you have to scroll over to Program Files 86 for the 32-bit and Program Files for the 64, and then assign the VST folder. But I've already done that, and I've already scanned everything. But and then once you've assigned it, you click Clear Cache and Rescan, and you rescan all your VSTs, all your plugins, and then it's all go. Now we've done all that. That's all taken care of. And then after that, you want to start making your track. You want to start producing some music, and you want to start getting something out there. And this program will allow you to do that, because allowing to run a virtual machine, a virtual instrument in this sort of environment with such ease. It's just a couple of clicks of a button, and that's about it. And I think it's all up 3 clicks, or probably even 4, minus a dialogue. So what we'll do is we'll go into Tracks, and we'll go Insert. We'll go Insert Instrument Track, which is what we're going to do. Yep, Insert Virtual Instrument on a new track. That's what we've done. We've got a box open at the moment, and we can choose between VST, DXI, DX, VST, VSTI, JS, Rewire, or just straight instruments. But what we need is we're going to go with all the plugins at the moment. So we're going to go with all plugins because we want to get all the plugins to show at the moment. So what we do is we scroll on over to VSTI, which will show up with, actually we'll go up to VSTI, which will show up with Toontrack EZDrummer, which is right here. So that's here, we highlight that and we go OK. Now it's just come up with the first track, and it'll come up with a dialogue. Here we go, and it's come with build routing confirmation, which allows you to have an 8 to 16 channel mixer in the bottom here. That's your mixing bay, like for you mixing your tracks. So you go yes. So you have all that available. And here we go. There you go. That's Toontrack EZDrummer. Now, with Toontrack EZDrummer, you got your velocity, which allows you, which doesn't really do much. You can humanize, and you've also got a very, very comprehensive mixer with this program. With this program, you can change your room to suit your ambience. Let's say, for example, if you want a very reverberated room, see, you got a very reverberated room. But if you want something that's like a very padded room, yeah, it basically does that too. Also, with your overheads as well. If you want to have overhead, if you want a very acoustic overhead, it hasn't loaded up yet, but yeah, it's pretty much that anyway. You've basically got that capturing with all your mics, which is these two in the front here. That's your overhead mic, or that's your room mic. Your overhead's like your cymbals and what have you. But also, let's have a look at some of the other drum kits that are available. You got four options to choose from with Toontrack. You've got a default kit, which is just default everything. Hang on. Yeah, you got a tight. It's still loading up, but you got a tight kit. You got an ambient kit. You got an ambient kit, and you got your basic kit. So you got 4 kit presets to choose from, and you can also save these as well. And you can do this with all the expansions as well, which makes it even a bigger bonus. Now let's also concentrate on the other different expansions that are available with Toontrack EZDrummer. You have a very comprehensive library of expansions that have come with that don't come with it, but they are paid for, that are add-ons with this program. You got the Americana, which is all your favorite classics from America. You got your blues, you got your classic. You also got a classic 4 mic, which is basically just 4 mics around the tracking room. You got the claustrophobic kit, which is kind of a mixture between acoustic and electric. You have a cocktail kit. You have a very, very, very comprehensive drum kits from Hell Drum Kit. They've introduced electronic music to the element now, which is a very, very big added bonus. You've got the Funk Master Clyde and the Funk Master Jabo, which are done in collaboration with the two biggest funk drummers in the business. You got the indie folk, and you also got the indie folk 4 mic, which also you got a choice between 4 mic setup and a 4 mic setup. You got your jazz, you got your jazz drum library expansion, and you got a choice of 4, not 3, but you got 3 metal expansions to choose from, as well as drum kits from Hell. Metal is a new one. This one, I'll just give you a bit of a brief intro on these three here. This one just came out not so long ago, and this one was recently collaborated with some of the top US and European metal producers in the metal music industry as we speak. They also collaborated with the top studios around that area as well. So that was a very, very big added bonus. And this one actually has some really has got some really good samples too. This one here was actually one of the first metal expansions to come out. This one is called EZDrummer EZX Metalheads. This one was done in collaboration with Thomas Harkey from Meshuggah. They are a very important metal band from I think Sweden, and these guys collaborated with Toontrack, gave them a group of their songs, so users of Toontrack can actually use the samples to recreate some of the music, which has actually been very beneficial, and it's a very powerful kit too. It's still loading up, but it's a very nice kit. We'll load this in. Once we load this in Toontrack Solo, we'll have a better run through with this. And also Metal Machine, which was done in collaboration with John Tempesta, who's in a band with Rob Zombie, and he was also in White Zombie, if you know who John Tempesta is, and he also collaborated with Toontrack as well, from what I got told. And he has a lot of his libraries in the Metal Machine expansion as well, which is a very, very powerful expansion with a very powerful kit with some really, really kick-ass grooves as well. You also have a selection of Nashville kit. You can also use some stuff with your you can use number one hits as well. You also have a very comprehensive Latin percussion rig set up as well, which you can either add Latin percussion or just do Latin music, which is a very, very interesting combination for EZDrummer as well. You could also have a pop expansion. You've also got a new rock expansion, which not long ago came out, which is this kit here. This one is actually a very very good kit as well. You also got Rock Solid as well, which is this one also gives you a number of decent drums as well, which is a very powerful kit too. You can do like a power ballad, or you can do like a old school rock song, or you can do something just like something like yeah, just something out of the ordinary, something just great, something awesome. Then you got something that's completely out of the ordinary. If you want to do something just crazy, like I don't know, just make some really weird noises, percussion noises with this. You even got one with a Toontrack hoodie on it, which is interesting. See, you got very, very weird noises, but it's very interesting. You can choose from mallets too. And also, if you really like a bit of nostalgia, or if you like to sound like if you want to have a Beatles sound to it, you got a standard 4-piece kit, and you can go like Ringo Starr, which is an awesome addition if you really like to do that sort of thing too. So all in all, Toontrack EZDrummer is a very, very comprehensive drum library. It's very, very well done, very, very, very comprehensive, but it's very easy to use at the same time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something with Jay's favorite kit, which is Toontrack EZDrummer drum kits from hell. Now, I've only worked with him briefly, but he works with this kit a lot, and he loves this kit, and I do too. And it's an awesome drum kit. You got some comprehensive libraries, got a punchy bass drum, got a popping snare, awesome mics on the cymbals, great reverberation on that kit, and it's just an amazing drum set. You can do some really wicked stuff with not only the libraries, but also with the other metal libraries too, just to boost that kit right up. But enough about, you know, mentioning about the drums. Let's have a look see at how to actually implement these into your rig, or implement these into a track, or I should say. Now, usually some people will get their heads racked out, and they might think, oh, but I need an electric drum kit, or I need an MPC, or I need to have this, and I need to have that, or I need to have like a MIDI controller keyboard. Well, meanwhile, while this is true, but there's also other significant routes to this as well. You can actually key this in with a mouse. It does take a while, and it can give you probably some bout of carpal tunnel, but this is actually a reasonably good idea. Now I'll show you how to do this quickly, because I've only got a limited amount of attempts for me to click things in, because I don't want to get carpal tunnel again. But we'll open up a MIDI track, which is insert a new MIDI item. So we'll open up a MIDI track, and this is your keyboard, and you can patch things in, and unfortunately this is not, you know, dialed in, you know, with any other way. So what we'll do, is we'll key this in. And we'll just do a bit of a sample. And we'll just do a sample. And this is only a temporary sample, so don't expect it to be too extravagant. Something like that, but you know, it's something if you want something more complex, then you'd have to really do something completely crazy. So this is just that was just a sample test. But if you don't really want the hassle of actually doing that sort of thing, there are some real comprehensive presets in the grooves, and we'll show you how to do that as well. So I'm going to show you how to do the drag and drop method. And the drag and drop method is actually quite simple. It's actually not as hard as you might think. And a lot of people usually think, oh, but it's too hard and ruddy rah, and you know, it's too much of a hassle, and some people think that it's very difficult. But to be honest, this is actually not as hard as everyone thinks. So what we'll do is we'll start off on we'll do a sample beat, and we'll show you how to do this. So you open up your grooves. So you go open grooves, and you go to your library, and you choose which. Once you've picked your kit, you can choose your library. If you want to go pop rock, you can. I'm going to do this with drum kits from hell, and then you choose what time signature that you want to do. I mean, even though it's straight 4/4, even though it's still straight 4/4, you can still choose different time signatures too. You can choose the fills that associate with it as well. So we'll choose the 1/4 groove, which is a pretty simple groove, and we'll just do a start off on that one. So you choose that groove, which is between 130 to 190 BPM. And then you open up another menu, which is called Instrument Variations, which gives you 5 different access to different hat opening and closes. You've only got one close, but 4 different open methods. You got a left China, and you got a couple of China sounds that China methods that you want to go for. Numerous ride and bell techniques, a spook crash. You got different rides, ride techniques, and you also got different crashes as well. So you're pretty set there. So what we'll do is we'll just mess around with a beat that we're just gonna drag in. So once you've chosen your beat, you can choose which one you want to start off with. Then you just hold down your mouse. You just hold down you just hold down button 1, and you just drag that groove over. Then you just do it again, and a dialogue will pop up, by the way, in Reaper, which is somewhat unfortunate, but it does happen. So I'm doing it today for some reason. Oh yeah, it does pop up now. You get this one, replace MIDI item source, and there's nothing there, but it does it anyway. So yeah, that's basically what you've got here anyway. So yeah, we've started it off. So and then after that, you just test it out to see what sounds right. And that's basically it. And if you want to do a whole song out of that, you can do a whole song out of that. You can also do fills as well. Also, you got other stuff with Toontrack Drum Kit from Hell, but you got other things to add on to that too. So if you want to add like a cowbell with percussion, you add another track. So if you want to remove that track, if you want to remove some of these, if you don't want any of these other tracks assigned, you just remove them because they're just dud tracks. So you just keep that top one open. But if you want to, say for example, if you want to add another track, or if you want to add another VST, or if you want to add another instance of Toontrack EZDrummer Drum Kits from Hell, you can add this again, and you just go back in there and you go no, because you don't really want that open. So what you do, if you want Latin percussion, and you just wait for that to open, obviously, and it just, it's gonna take a while for it to open, but it's okay, it does take its time. But if you want some Latin grooves in there as well, you can choose some of these, or yeah, I mean, you can choose different grooves along the way too. Yeah, we'll just create a test track. So yeah. Oh, well, it's kind of playing up, but you kind of get my drift anyway. Yeah, or if you want to add percussion beats to it, it works really well. Even though I'm kind of still getting used to it myself. But yeah, that's basically Toontrack EZDrummer. All the links and descriptions are in the below, in the bar below. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and wait for part 2 for Toontrack EZDrummer and Pro Tools.